And we are back, folks, for another edition of Behind the Uniform. This is where we take you inside the lives of the players who wear the uniform for the University of Michigan and talk about what they do on the field of play, but also find out who they are away from the field of play. And something unique this year, we are going to get inside the lives of the guys, at least some of the guys, who are embarking upon their Michigan careers as they start them first time with freshmen as they are getting started on their University of Michigan careers. And so we got with a few guys from the freshman class that we chose to come on the Behind Uniform platform. And one of them that we chose to start things off with us this year is Mr. Andrew Marsh. Andrew, how are you?
I'm doing good. Pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me as well. I'm doing good, really just getting ready for camp now. I'm ready to go into the season, make something happen, make some plays.
Yeah, man, glad that you could be with us. You've actually had the opportunity to get your feet wet, getting some action in first spring and now getting ready for camp. So let's talk about the transition. What was spring ball like for you?
It was a lot, for sure, especially getting here. It was nice to get here in December, being able to work out, kind of get some weight on me before heading into spring ball. But spring ball was definitely something that I experienced, had to learn. I feel like I got a lot better though. Obviously, it's process and stuff like that. So I just feel like the biggest difference was just coming here. High school and college is a big step up. Everybody's good, everybody's ready to play, everybody's ready to work. So. But I think overall it went well.
Yeah, man. There's an acclimation to it for every single guy. Make no mistake. But what was the biggest part or the toughest part of the transition for you? Was it the speed of the game? Was it being away from home? What was the toughest part for you?
I would say most is the knowledge. Even though I feel like in high school I was one of the smarter guys on the team, at least football-wise, knowing where I'm supposed to be, plays, coverages, and like even reading a defense. But coming here, I've learned that it's so much more, and even like just being detailed on where you are on your route or how you set them up, or just knowing the play in general, it's a lot more work. It's a lot more to know. It's a lot more to learn. But I think I've been doing a pretty good job handling it.
Has there been a part of it? Because I know they say physically guys are bigger, stronger, faster. But you were ranked one of the top receivers in the country for a reason. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're a ball player too, a really good one. So
appreciate
has
that.
there been any moment in practice or on the field where you're like, oh yeah, well wait a minute, hey, there's some part of this that's still like high school. I'm like that too. Have you had any of those moments?
Of course, especially just being able to go do what I do. I feel like I've definitely been able to showcase my skill set. Had moments where I felt really good, and just as I've come along, been getting more comfortable with everything, I feel like even more now I can get more creative and really just play more of my game, and so I'm just ready to make something happen with that.
Nah, I'm not asking you to brag on yourself, and I want to make it clear that as I ask this question on camera, the young man is not bragging on himself. I'm asking a leading question. But what's the most memorable play that you can think of off the top of your head that you made in practice? Talk me through the biggest Andrew Marsh play.
Probably my first big play I made in spring ball. I think it was like day 2. Might have been day 1, but it was like it came right after a drop. So I had dropped my first one. It was a big play. It was beat him off the line, go ball, dropped it. So I was mad. I was very mad. And so after that, got a few plays back, and then I made a big play. We were doing one-on-ones, chopped the DB down, made him think I was going outside, broke inside, made a big play. So that felt really good. And I would say that's probably one of my best memories on the field, at least right now.
And so as you kind of envision, a freshman campaign where one of the objectives offensively is to bring the passing game back, right? That's what the aim of adding a Chip Lindsey, of adding a guy like Andrew Marsh to the fold. What do you envision your contribution to that being?
I feel like I'm just somebody that's gonna come ready to work, somebody that can make plays, somebody that's dynamic with the ball in their hands, yards after catch, and like you said, just moving on this year as a whole, I really think that we are developing our pass game a lot, and I think that is just gonna be a big focus for us this year. Really just trying to spread the ball out more, really just excite everybody more.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of competition to it, and a lot of, as far as role definition, still has to happen in fall camp. So, we'll see how it all works out. But what about that receiver room, man? It sounds like speaking of competition, there's a lot of competition in there.
Yeah, there's a bunch of dogs in there. Got a few transfers, a few of the older guys, and even guys that's been here. I really say just the game in general in our room has gone up. The work ethic, me just getting here, I've been knowing what they were doing before, but ever since I've been here, I feel like everybody's coming ready to work. You just never know who's up, who's on the chopping block, so really just here to work.
So, part of a transition process is older guys taking you under their wing. It could be guys at your position. It doesn't necessarily have to be. It doesn't even have to be an offensive guy, but has that been the case for you where you've been big brothered so far? Who, if anyone, has that been for you?
I would say I spend a lot of time with the quarterbacks. I feel like they've helped me a lot. Kind of our room is kind of like spread out a little bit. A lot of transfers have come in, and some of the older guys, Peyton O'Leary, he's one guy that I try and stick by. He knows really all the positions, even Channing Goodwin. Those two guys, they've kind of helped me a lot.
And so I know Uncle Ron, your position coach.
Yeah.
That's what your mom called Uncle Ron. So now that you've actually been here, they say it's one thing when they're recruiting you. It's easy to be Uncle Ron when they're recruiting you. But what has Uncle Ron been like now that he's Coach Ron?
I feel like he's still the same guy. He's funny, Uncle Ron. Yeah, he just always has a lot of energy. Guy that really knows what he's doing at his position. And even Soup and some of the guys that he's brought in, Tut, Goodrich, some of the guys that were here working with us. Really, I feel like we have kind of the best staff, especially in that room. So I feel like it's always good work with them.
Yeah, you go back to the recruiting process, man, and we talked about it, the times that you've been here on set. I covered your recruitment from the time you were were off the radar to the time where you were one of the most heavily recruited guys in the country. And he, that was what stuck out to me, is like he was like, it was like he lived with you almost. Like he was always like in your recruitment, man. And so that to me was what stood out about how he recruited you during your process, because when you committed to Michigan, they didn't have Bryce Underwood committed, and they weren't throwing the football a lot. So that to me seemed to be the defining thing in your Michigan recruitment. Am I off base with that?
No, I would definitely say that played a big factor in me coming here. I would just say the consistency that those guys had recruiting me, the coaches, the staff, really just the love that they showed me every time I come up here. Just feel like a place where I was really wanted to come play, wanted to come be. So.
And so then you get here, and obviously the offense, they told you that things were going to change, and they've changed it a lot. OC has changed. Coach Lindsey is here. That's something I haven't had a chance to talk to you about. So your impressions of Coach Lindsey, now that you play for him or you're playing for him, you see his offense, what do you think of Coach Lindsey?
I really like him. I think he's probably one of the brightest minds in the sport right now, and I really just like the person he is. He's a Southern guy like me, so we connect a lot about that, and then really just some of the concepts he puts together in practice is always good. I feel like he's very understanding too, just as a person, so I really like him.
And then another dude that you mentioned, you talk about the best staff, so Soup. So the funny thing about that dynamic is Soup Coach Ron, and now Ron is the receiver coach, and Soup is his assistant. So first of all, what's it like to have Soup as one of your coaches? And then what is it like to have the teacher be the student, to have Soup be Ron's assistant?
It's low-key, it low-key does feel kind of weird at times, but I feel like the guys kind of don't mind it. I really don't mind it. I feel like they kind of balance each other out pretty well. Soup's a little bit more old school, Bell's a little bit more new school, but as you said, he coached Coach Bell, so they really go hand in hand with what they're teaching us, and they kind of they flow together. So I really like how their dynamic and how it helps us out.
Yeah, man, and so you guys, as you step into a year, there's a lot of uncertainty outside. From outside, people don't really know what to expect from Michigan receivers. Is that something that you guys pay attention to, or do you tune that out?
I feel like it's definitely kind of something that follows us a little bit, but it's really something that's in the rear view, in our opinion. Really just ready to work, ready to show everybody this year what we can do. A lot of competition has gone up in the room, so I feel like we're all ready to play this year, ready to just make something happen.
One of the things I marveled at during your recruitment, it felt like you almost looked at that as, again, I'm giving you my impression of you. It felt like you looked at that as a challenge, like I get a chance to go and put my mark on it. Like it's not defined, so I can go and kind of help make Michigan's receiver room in my image, kind of help define it. Almost. That's how it felt to me. I don't know if you looked at it that way. Was that something that you thought in recruiting?
Most definitely. Obviously, kind of just felt like it was more freedom to come here and really just be able to have more of a better shot of becoming a starter, yes. But I feel like really no matter where I would have went, it's still a fight at the end of the day, still competition. Like I said, it's really just a process. And that was one thing I also learned when I got here, even with that, coming in with that in mind. Just getting into spring ball was definitely different, seeing everything, having to feel everything, run all the routes, and really just know everything. But I feel like I'm definitely up for the challenge.
Yeah, and not even just to say that, come in and start, but be a part of the group. Not even you individually, but be a part of the group that helped put Michigan receivers back on the map, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And so now as you get into the thick of the competition part of it, I mean, you got some brothers that you came in with, some other receivers, man. And so what about this receiver class that you came in with?
Yeah, I think we're all coming along really well. Jacob and Jamar, I feel like we're always in there working, we're always in there studying. Those are like my brothers right now. Really just ready to get into fall camp with them. Really just keep going, keep getting better every day.
And you guys come in at a time, Andrew, where NIL is a part of the fabric of a growing part of the fabric of the sport. Guys having NIL contracts in college, guys having to know how to manage the business side of their college careers with the playing side of their college careers, having managed their money and having to grow their money at the same time, and having that nest egg after their college careers are over. That's one of the reasons why we started this platform and the Financial Literacy Bootcamp. You got a chance to go meet with Dave Hemmick over at Morgan Stanley, kind of talk about those things. What were some of your big takeaways from your time with Dave?
Really just to be smart with your money. And there's a lot of different ways to do that. Investing, real estate, just lots of different ways, business ventures and stuff like that. And even ways to put up your money and let it make money or hide it, keep it safe or stuff like that. And so we were talking just about different ways to kind of get into that.
I know you have always, been very forward-thinking from a business perspective, and we'll get into some of those ventures here shortly. But had you been thinking about, from the standpoint of investing your money in ways that could set you up for retirement 30, 40 years down the line? Had you already been thinking in that way?
I feel like I definitely have, and And that kind of stems from like the people I've had around me, and even my mom, kind of her influence on me in that aspect. The game just doesn't last forever, so really just making sure that you have a plan after and really have something built up after that.
Yeah, and so, I mentioned business ventures. Part of the process is, doing tax planning and that kind of thing. You are well ahead of the game in having your own business and LLC and, doing branding and that kind of thing. I remember during the recruiting process, you already had your merch line. Mm-hmm. And I still got my shirt where everything is going to be all right, right? And so you were really, really forward thinking in that way. And so what about that merch line? Where are you with that?
Definitely want to get some more stuff out. Probably get some as we go into the season. Really just want to get on the field, start making plays. Then I feel like we'll definitely sell more.
Okay, so is that something that fans are going to be able to be on the lookout for if they want to be able to check it out? Is there a website or something that they should be on the lookout for in the future?
Definitely. Website's on the way. Kind of getting all the background stuff and all of that finalized and stuff like that. But definitely, I would just stay on the lookout for that. Should be on the way.
And so what kind of merch will you have?
A little bit of some diversity, some school stuff, some football stuff, some merch like kind of with like my logos and stuff, and then kind of like some casual stuff with like some slogans or quotes or stuff like that.
Got you. All right, so I mentioned, getting prepared for the future is a big part of financial literacy. You're already well on your way, and that's why we are adamant when it comes to this platform about spreading the word when it comes to financial literacy. And Andrew, you were adamant about spreading the word about Michigan, spreading the word that everything is going to be okay. You were committed, as I said before, Michigan had beaten Ohio State. You were committed before Michigan had a commitment from Bryce Underwood. As a matter of fact, you were part of recruiting, helping recruit Bryce Underwood to Michigan. So rewind for me, man, and go back to that time when you were like, hey, I'm here, everything's gonna be okay, and I'm gonna help bring other guys into the fold. You were very intentional about that. What was,
yes, sir.
Why were you so adamant? Why were you so certain?
I feel like, especially after I committed, even a few weeks kind of before I made it public, I kind of already knew what I wanted to do. So I really just wanted to make sure I made that the best thing possible. If that was what I wanted to do, wanted to make sure I could get the best guys around me to make it happen. Kind of just make sure I'm in the best situation possible. We're all in the best situation possible. Really just want to go forward this year, make something happen.
Yeah, and it wasn't, I got to shout your mom out because it wasn't just you. Mm-hmm. That was a part of that process. I know you came up to recruit Bryce. I remember both of you guys were on the sideline of that playoff. Mm-hmm. It wasn't even a playoff game. It was the game before the playoffs. That you were standing on the sideline. You're a Texas guy. And so it was cold.
It was cold.
It was cold. And so you being a Texas guy, it was really cold for you. If I was cold, you were really cold, right?
Yes, sir.
But then she came up without you on one occasion. So whose idea was that? Were you like, Mom, can you please go up?
It was a little bit of both of ours. I just had some stuff in place, so I wasn't able to come or get back up here in time. But she was like, I'll go out there still and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, so for folks who don't know what I'm talking about, Andrew is very intentional about trying to help get Bryce to Michigan to the point where he was, trying to be a part of the process, coming up to games to try to help recruit him. Couldn't make it up another week, and his mom came up without him to try to help recruit. So that's big time. She was a part of, like, hey, if you can't be there, I'm gonna go up there and help represent and try to help recruit on your behalf. So. That's Mom carrying the torch for you, man. She down for the team.
Nah, most definitely.
Down for the team, down for the program for sure. And so I'd be remiss if I didn't ask, now that you've actually had a chance to play, and I know there's a quarterback competition, so I'm not being presumptuous and making any announcements here. I just want your impressions of, now that you've actually played with him some in practice, what do you think of 19?
I feel like he's as advertised so far. I feel like he's a guy that comes to work. Even before spring ball started, he calling me every night, trying to get in the gym, trying to go work out, throw the ball, stuff like that. So I feel like he's definitely a guy who's ready to work all the time. He's about his business, and I'm just ready to see what our future holds.
Anything about him surprising to you that you've seen?
Not really. He's very energetic. But even along with our other quarterbacks, I feel like they all kind of balance each other out with their personalities, especially. Some of them are chill, some of them are more outgoing. So I really like the room so far.
Mm-hmm. So you guys as an offense, man. I'm curious how you guys take what people say about you guys as a group, or do you not pay attention to what people say?
I mean, it's kind of like the other thing. It's more just stuff we hear, but we really don't let it affect us too much because we know what we can do as a team and as a unit. So now, like I said, we're really just ready to go out there and make it happen, show everybody what we can do.
Mm-hmm. So again, I am not looking for bulletin board material from you, young man. So don't use this as invitation. But I just want to know if you notice any reaction around the program when, another number one from another receiver from down at Old State, Jeremiah Smith, said, "Hey, I guarantee I'll never lose to them again." Did you notice any reaction to that around the program when he made that guarantee?
I mean, we just thought it was funny. We've heard it before, seen it before. Got to make it happen though, so we'll see what's up.
Yeah, so you did, but it wasn't one of those things where you noticed a lot of guys just reacting to it at all.
Not really, kind of just something we seen. Oh yeah. Well.
Yeah, so it's definitely the spice is never gonna go away, even after they won a national championship. So that's gonna be a very, very fun thing. I'm curious though, for you as a Texas guy, coming into that rivalry, mm-hmm. Have you been able to feel it already? I feel
like I definitely have, and even like while I was at home, I was trying to get more into it and stuff like that. But just being here and really being a part of it, and that's something that we really focus on and stuff like that. I definitely feel it. I feel like I'm part of it now. So. Yeah, don't like those guys.
Yeah, I hear that. So by the time people watch this, fall camp will be underway. You'll be in the thick of it already. But as you look ahead, embark upon your first one, kind of give me your outlook. What are you sort of anxiously anticipate? You've already been through spring ball. What do you anticipate being the toughest part of fall camp now that you've actually been through a spring ball?
I would say the toughest part is, I would say just the consistency it's going to have. Kind of some, from what I've heard, really just the consistency every day, staying in the hotel and to getting up, practice at 6:30 and then not leaving the facility till about 7, 8 o'clock. It's going to be a grind for sure. But I feel like it's nothing I can't handle. Really just got to stay on top of it. Start getting my schedule in place now. Start getting things in place to where when we get in camp, it's not too hard.
Yeah, I asked that question because I wonder, where did you grow the most from the beginning of spring ball to the end of spring ball, because it ought to help you be prepared for whatever you anticipate the toughest thing being when you hit fall camp. So where did you grow the most?
I would say where I grew the most was really just the aspect of preparing and like training as a pro, I would say, and that's something that I feel like Michigan teaches you. Just being able to go to bed, study your plays before you go to bed, wake up early, get in the facility early, get treatment done, get food in your body and stuff like that. Really just the kind of the off the field stuff. I feel like I've grown a lot on the field as well, but But definitely the off the field stuff that goes hand in hand with the game, really just to make you the complete better player. I feel like I've definitely grown in that aspect.
All right, and so the last question I'll ask you, because you gave us a good glimpse of your transition and how things have been going for you. Who's kind of jumped out at you as you've watched spring ball, you've watched off-season workouts? Who's, as you've been a part of this so far, you've been like, man?
Like in my class or?
Oh, just period. It could be in your class, just period, since you've been here at Michigan.
I would say one guy I really noticed was Ernest. Just his IQ, his smarts on the field, and even just his leadership. I feel like he walks around and guys really respect him. And he was somebody I worked out with before spring ball started, and so he was always there, somebody that just pushed me harder and harder and harder. And, you know, Ern is big too, so it was definitely good work. But I feel like just him in general, days we're going against the defense, he'll single-handedly shut down a play or drop into a coverage and stuff like that. So I've definitely noticed him. And then it's a lot of guys really, but he's one that I've definitely noticed.
Yeah, well, he's the guy that we'll not only see at Big Ten Media Day, but also a guy that we'll see here on Behind the Uniform. So, Andrew, appreciate your time.
Yes, sir.
Good luck in fall camp. Good luck this season. I know you're going to do your thing, man, so thanks a lot for your time.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having me once again.
All right, thanks a lot for another edition of Behind the Uniform.